God take over when you can't see. 'Cause you should know out of everybody, you are really never alone. You should know out of everybody, you are loved, you have a beautiful soul. Even in the dead of silence, you are being blessed by what you hear. You should know out of everybody, you should know out of everybody, you are a beautiful soul. You are a beautiful soul.
Ralf Friedrichs, I'm your author, addiction recovery coach, and life coach, and the host of this show, The Take Your Life Back Today radio show, combined with YouTube version on YouTube channel, Take Your Life Back Today show, where we have over 2,500 episodes. Listen, I wrote this breakup
In
letter
return, yet sometimes you get
it was my life, but I couldn't take it anymore. So alcohol and I,
pick yourself
if you're
up, cleanse your soul of the dust. You live your life with love. When people take from you, misunderstand you, you never give up. And that's what matters. Plant the seed, let God take over when you're down on your knees. You should know out of everybody, there are signs in front of behind you. You should know out of everybody, messages from above all around you. They are there just to remind you of the Lord that stands right beside you. And in those times you seem to forget, I don't mind reminding you that you are a beautiful soul.
Like any other friendship, getting together,
You are so
special
beautiful. You should know out of everybody, you are really never alone. You should know out of everybody, you are loved, you have a beautiful soul. Even in the dead of silence, you are being blessed by what you hear. In those times you seem to forget, I don't mind reminding you that you are a beautiful soul.
By yourself. So I brought you along to the pool table. And then we started hanging out Thursday night. So you go up to weekends early, trying to see what you had. We were slowly becoming BFFs. Just made my life better. You were my one friend who was always there for me. We never argued with me. And today we feel completely comfortable accepting life we had built together. Girlfriends come and go. We were becoming inseparable. It seemed like every girlfriend I ever had was very jealous of our time we spent together, you and I, alcohol. The countless nights listening to them cry angry tears and trying to keep you and me apart had little effect on our self-building relationship. Alcohol, girls can come and go, but I knew that you and I were a very special bond together that was destined to last forever, and I was not going to let any girl get in the way of that, no matter how beautiful she was. Remember when you moved in with me for good, when you became part of my life 24/7? The glory days when nothing else mattered. I even started to bring you to work with me every single morning. I couldn't just let you sleep in all day and then have to wait until I got home for dinner. So I brought you to work. My co-workers must have thought I had a real weak bladder with the amount of times they assuredly saw me leave the office to run to the bathroom. Little did they know I was just secretly hanging out with you in either the car or listening to the radio, or maybe at a local bar. And yes, I call it our car because I would never go for a drive without you by my side. You were always right there. We were truly becoming inseparable. Doctors eventually tried their best to intervene, taking me away from you for days on end. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but many times total in 1 year alone. Like I told everyone else, sorry doc, but he is my best friend, and I cannot live without him. Alcohol is my best friend, Doc. They shook their heads in disbelief, knowing how unhealthy our relationship was, fearing it could turn deadly. When they finally let me go home, I immediately ran right to you, and we would be back together in our old ways. I'd confide in you in everything. Finally, alone. And how I could forget my family's feelings about the unbreakable bond. They treated it like a high school relationship, like it was just some obsession that I was going through. They simply were unaware of how strong our bond was together. I thought they were just doing the family thing and did not want to see their family member hurt. Friends, I told them you moved out and that we only hung out on occasion. That I would only drink you every once in a while. But then when I would show up to see them, they immediately knew I was still spending time with you and gave me a look of disgust. Again, I felt like they were just doing what any family would do if they feared for their family's safety. They even collaborated with the doctors and nurses, and they all ganged up on me at one time. I could see the gravity of the moment by the expressions on their faces, a look of desperation. I still did not understand, though, what the problem was with our growing friendship, that you and I had a friendship that was so inseparable. You filled me up inside when I was empty, something neither they nor anyone else could do. So finally everyone left us alone, and we had freedom at last. The phone calls ceased. The more texts, they ceased. As long as I was with you, there was no more seeing any of them. Totally separated from them. Nothing else mattered, alcohol. It was just you and me. You remember when you had finally taken my a friend's life that I knew, maybe 20 years ago, when my friend had alcohol on his side and drove his car into a tree. Our bond was so tight for during that time, so I knew. And I never had a doubt that you would ever leave me, because you came and consoled me, although it was you that took my friend when he was very friendly with you. At times there were no more girlfriends to bother us, no more work to go to, and no more family to deal with. Everyone was completely hopeless that we were going to BFS until the end, until either I left you or you left me. They constantly remind us of what my friend did when he was so addicted to you. Nothing else mattered to me anymore as long as I had you, my good friend, alcohol. Life went on without incident, and the days turned into months. We had our routine, and we were sticking to it. Right when I woke up and I had to immediately find you. I couldn't start my day without you. I looked forward to seeing you. We locked all the doors, pulled down all the curtains, and threw away every responsibility in life that we could go on forever together, you and me, alcohol. After a few months of monotony, I realized you were becoming an expensive friend to keep around for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But no person could ever get in between us. I certainly wasn't going to let money get in our way. I knew I had to have you by my side at all times. Or so, at least I thought. So I did whatever it took to assure our time together would never end. I would take you with me at night, and we scoured the neighborhood after neighborhood in search of your empty friends. Once we filled up the back of our Jeep, or at that time, I don't think it was a Jeep, it was an Explorer. We knew we'd have another day together, and we would repeat this day after day, but I was getting tired of this degrading process that was just totally draining me. So I had a solution. I knew my family would never help us stay together, and I came up with a plan to get them back and allow us to stay glued together. What was that plan? You might be asking. The loneliness became a daily thing. I found money, lots of it, and I took it when no one was looking. The plan was working remarkably. With each passing day, though, your company was filling my insides less and less. And did you see what you had done to me physically? I looked terrible. I didn't take you in and let you stay with me every single day for the past 6 years. Matter of fact, I didn't even have you one day for the last 6 years, but towards the end of our relationship, before I broke up with you, it was even less than way in the beginning. You never told me about the belly you were going to give me. You never said anything about it being harder to breathe the more we hung out. You never told me you were going to make my hand shake. That it would affect simply things like walking up and down the stairs and doing dishes, but I still couldn't let you go. We had been together far too long to give up now, so I pushed on. The bills continued to pile up. The loneliness became a daily thing. The same clothes entrenched my body day after day. My teeth were becoming more and more rotten, and even my belly began to get larger and larger. What did they ever do to you that you wouldn't even allow me to walk with them? If I tried to even cut back a little time with you, you would make me feel even worse. Inside and out, you had completely taken over my life, holding all the power. Every single thing I did was for you. And now, the same people who I cut off for you wanted to talk to me all of a sudden. The pile of money just didn't look right. It had dwindled down to bottom. And I soon followed. Almost a crash and burn. You had won. Game over. Like Wilson did to Hanks in Castaway. But then something miraculously occurred. Of all the things you had taken from me over the years and all the strength you possessed, you forgot about one thing. I am a child of God. And He had finally broken through the never-ending pile of stuff we had built together. All that rotten stuff which I called my life. His words were simple, yet more powerful than anything you could have ever done for me. I went to sleep that night, knowing that I would finally say goodbye to you. Forever. And then I woke up. God changed me. So the next day, before saying our final goodbyes, I did something I was not able to do in many, many years. I told my family the truth. There were no more lies. Every single tear that I had ever been holding in because I feared of your wrath. Your wrath poured down my cheeks in tears. I finally felt free. Then another miracle happened. My family accepted me and wanted to help me. The same family that seemed to have drifted away like Wilson did to Hanks. But fortunately for me, my wrath caught up to them in the nick of time. They realized the power you possessed over me was far greater than anything else until God stepped in. They realized that you controlled my life, but God now controls my life. They realized everything I did was for you, but now everything I do is for God. And they all knew that your plan all along was able to take my life. And they knew I alone could not stop you of achieving your goals. God was there for me. God is with me. Take good care. Have a great day. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And may God bless you. Remember, God will always be there. This is my breakup letter to alcohol. Take good care and may God bless you. Bye-bye.